Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday to you. Happy sports, everybody. However you participate, however you celebrate, where you are. We hope that you are finds you well as we start this program. Hey, Jeremiah, Jensen, Alex, Kirry, thanks for being with us on the program. We just got to chat with Mitch Harper and Steve Bartle in the flesh here. A lot of times we're having those guys on over the ether, but you know what? Good to see those guys in today for a couple hours while Scotty G is having quite the turnaround. Saw him on TV last night in Canada.
What a weekend for Scotty. I don't think he expected to do play-by-play this weekend, but he did great.
Well, when I
hanging out with Booner in Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, you go from that San Diego State insane energy game, and we were talking about how an early game on a Saturday felt funky at the Spec, but you know what? Once you get inside, it's like going to watch a movie middle of the day. You assume it's nighttime when you're going to go out, and you go, oh, because you're inside. Who cares? Once it started to go, that was awesome. That was an awesome win for the Ags, and that's a team they needed to get that against because, they kind of been, no, not
well, they had that two-game stretch, the loss to Grand Canyon and then to UNLV at home.
Bad.
You don't lose to a mid-team in the Spectrum ever.
Yeah.
And it was rough, and fans were like, what's going on here? Boy, what a response. They got one out in Colorado, in Fort Collins against Colorado State. Come back, drill Wyoming at home. This looks like the Aggies team that we thought they were going to be. And then to find a way to rally in the second half and to beat San Diego State. Any San Diego State-Utah State game is going to be electric. Good. There's going to be an edge to it. And it did not disappoint on Saturday. And for the Aggies to find a way and come out on top was pretty impressive. Carson Templin bailed them out in the first half with 12 points off the bench. And then in the second half, they just figured it out and found a way. The Aggies started 0 of 9 from 3 in that game and still found a way to come back and win. And they didn't get the production they normally get from Collins and Fallsliv, but Carson Templin stepped up. And Adlan Elamine, they've got a really nice freshman, Adlan Elamine, who has been just getting better and better each and every game. Jared Calhoun's got something going there, and the Aggies are right back where they need to be. Probably a 7 or an 8 seed in the NCAA tournament as of right now. And that win was big, as you said, because it puts them into a 3-way tie with San Diego State and New Mexico. And guess who they play this week at the Pit?
I'm assuming not San Diego State.
Correct. I set that up for even the smallest of brains.
Yeah. Well,
they play the Lobos
how dare you?
in Albuquerque this week.
I set this up for even the smallest of brains. Should I be offended by that, Annapolis? I think you should.
Well, you don't be offended because you passed the test, so you're good.
There's only one pit in all of sports.
Well, you're paying attention, so you have credibility now. So yeah, it's a great win for the Aggies. Great weekend of hoops. Obviously, not the same result for BYU. They're in a little bit of a crunch here. I'm a little worried about BYU in the Big 12.
I'm trying to think about the I knew it was going to be tough, and how much attention they give to the Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa back and forth, and whether or not they actually deserved. If that was that really, everybody wants to see that matchup, right? Obviously, and then it's well, AJ DeBonsa lost. He lost that matchup, man. He doesn't have it. It's this is Darren Peterson's draft. I'm always like, that's fine. You can have him. Maybe he goes to maybe AJ DeBonsa falls all the way down to 3rd in the draft, and that's where the Jazz swoop in. No? Come on.
Why not? I mean, that's a great scenario for the Jazz because I think DeBonsa's a perfect match for the Jazz and what they'd be looking for in the draft. To get a wing of his skill.
But think about having because what's
let me throw out a hypothetical.
How tall is Ace
lineup.
Bailey? He's like 6'8", right? Or 6?
Yeah, 6'8". They're
6'8".
right. 6'8", 6'9" is that range.
Same.
So let me throw this out there: a starting lineup of Keyonte George, a point guard, and your wings are Ace Bailey, AJ DeBonsa, and Lauri Markkanen.
Is your 4?
So is 6'8", 6'9", 7 feet. And then you've got a 7-foot rim protector in Walker Kessler.
I thought you were going to say Kyle Filipowski.
And then coming off the bench is Kyle Filipowski and Bryce Sensabaugh and Isaiah Collier.
No.
You're ready to go.
I get it. Listen.
You are ready to go.
I love it because the hypotheticals are just as fun for me to see this thing kind of play out the way it has. So, yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing for me is, it was a great game for Richie Saunders. They don't care. They lose at Kansas. They've lost 2 in a row now, and it doesn't get any easier. They got a tough road to hoe the next little bit. So, right back at it, and they have a ton. They've got a ton of great teams they still have to face off against. I mean, you think about what this conference does, and they've been able to kind of navigate that, and kind of defy the odds over the last few years. And now they're expected to be beating the teams that are in front of them every. You got to play. You got to play number 8 Houston at home this coming weekend, right?
Yeah.
You go to Oklahoma State between that for that Wednesday matchup. So this is a tough one because then they go Houston, then they go down to Waco for Baylor, Colorado, and then they return the trip to Arizona, and then they have to face Iowa State, who's right now I think a number 1 or 2 seed.
Oh yeah, they're 7th in the country. They're a 2 seed.
It's wild to think
what?
who they have to face off.
UCF's
against.
good this year.
UCF
West
is good.
Virginia at West Virginia. The Mountaineers are good this year.
Bob Huggins still there?
He's lurking in the shadows. He's not running the program, but he is there.
No. He's not
He's trying to run for office or something.
He'd probably win it.
Politics.
Everyone's like, forget all those DUIs. All right, I'm going to talk to you about policy.
Well, if he's going to politics, he'll fit right in.
All right, let's kick the program off here officially. There's a lot going on, of course. I'm sporting my first bit of Seahawk gear for the week. Super Bowl week. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Oh, really?
What are you guys doing? What's happening with your teams? Yeah, see? Now Annapolis has
look at this guy. Look at the bully
now
over
Annapolis has the answer about. I was like, who are you cheering for this week? And he's like, it's a lose-lose. But now it's a real.
Oh shucks, what a great story the Seahawks are.
Yeah.
And then it's Super Bowl week. He's like, you guys, your team's sitting at home while my team's in the Super Bowl.
I told you, I am fully aware of the fact.
What a time to flex.
I'm fully aware of the fact that as a Seahawks fan, this still feels like a lame Super Bowl a little bit. Did I say that out loud?
Is everybody listening into this game? How do you feel about Patriots Seahawks? I'm curious.
Obviously, the 12 years ago they faced off against one another. That was a big deal. But, I know Sam Darnold's a big story. Drake May could be on the rise, but these guys are in the Super Bowl against all odds, right? That's the point. So
it's been a while since we haven't had, and I know Drake May is a rising star, and Sam Darnold's a great story, but every year, and we can get into this later on, I probably don't want to get too deep in this, but there is a big-name quarterback in the Super Bowl. Last year, you had Jalen Hurts versus Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Before that was Patrick Mahomes versus
Jalen Hurts?
Oh.
What? Who are you talking
Mr.
about?
Irrelevant.
Oh, Purdy.
Yeah, but everybody knows who Brock Purdy is because of these great stories.
Yes.
Every year it's been Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow or Matthew Stafford
big names.
or Tom Brady. Those days might be over. So who's the new guard? Who are the new quarterbacks? And I don't know if this group of quarterbacks, maybe it's just the newness of it or the stories, but I don't know that the star power is there that we've had in previous Super Bowls, but the quality of play and the storylines are there. And so is that enough to drive interest and get people excited about this game?
We'll talk more about the Super Bowl coming up here and, of course, throughout the week as we get you ready. Let's jump in, though, right here. We've got to kick the show off officially here so that Alex Annapolis doesn't have to have his finger hover over that one button for the last 4 minutes. Sorry, bro. Let's get it going here. Speaking of star-studded, let's get to the All-Star game. And whether or not there were actual snubs in the All-Star lineups, we'll see. Let's jump in right here with the cut, top of the program.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, so the NBA All-Star rosters are now rolled out. It's kind of a tough one because LeBron makes his 22nd straight All-Star game. At what point do you look and you go, there's the Lifetime Achievement Awards, the Honorary Oscar, That feels a little bit like this, right?
Uh-huh.
It's not that I'm not. Listen, LeBron James is the most important player of his era. Honestly, like, think about what we've gone through with this guy. Think about how much he's impacted the game. Think about how much that guy is a brand more than any singular person has been in a long, long, long time in sports. But your Western Conference All-Star matchup is, it's interesting because I think people look and they go, all right, and LeBron got a cajillion votes. And I'm not saying that there are Jazz players that should replace LeBron James. I don't think Keyonte George is there yet. I don't think you replace LeBron James with him.
What about Lauri?
Lauri is great. But again, I'm having a hard time saying put him in over him, right? Look, Chet Holmgren made it the All-Star game, man. That's awesome. I'm glad for that guy. I don't think that there was necessarily a snub. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't feel like a snub to me for these players. I thought it was interesting that Kawhi Leonard wasn't on the All-Star roster. Should he be upset about that? Or has he not played enough for him to feel good about whether or not?
That's the question.
Yeah.
So if you start digging into Lauri Markkanen, he's 27.7 rebounds per game. How do you keep a guy off the All-Star roster that's got 27 points and 7 rebounds per game? Who else matches that?
And maybe it's because, not that there was a requirement on how much.
It's two things. Number one, the Jazz have 15 wins.
It's the market that he's in.
Okay.
Yeah?
It's not market. It's the wins, and it's missing games. He's missed 13 games this year.
Okay.
And you add that with the record. Look, the teams with losing records are not going to get All-Stars picked. You can make the case that the guy has bloated numbers because he's playing on a bad team. That's just how it works. Guess what? The Thunder got 2 All-Stars in. Did Chet Holmgren have better numbers? And is Chet Holmgren right now better than Lauri Markkanen? Absolutely not.
No.
But the Thunder are the NBA champions, and they have been absolutely dominant. I'm surprised Jalen Williams didn't get in. That's how good the Thunder have been this year. So it's always been that way. The Jazz, you talk about market size, whatever. I disagree with that because back in 2021-22, when the Jazz had the best record in the NBA that year, they had 3.
Oh, yeah, it was 3.
They had
that's right.
Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and Mike Conley made his first All-Star game.
That's right. But I will say, like, especially
they reward winners.
And I think that the record, like, even though there are teams out there who, look, Luka is on a, right now in the playoff hunt, in the playoff mix Lakers team. Steph Curry, it's hard to keep him off the list. SGA is an obvious choice. Nikola Jokic is the best player probably on both of these rosters. Victor Wembanyama has his own. Think about the guys who are on this reserve list. Anthony Edwards, Jamal Murray, Chet Holmgren, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Like, stop me if you heard anybody in that list that you think shouldn't have made it. That's crazy. But LeBron makes his 22nd All-Star game of his career. And we'll see. I think we'll see some of these guys. You'll see a couple of those names probably say, I don't know, maybe a couple of those guys don't end up going.
Injury replacement.
That happens, right?
So Kawhi Leonard, 27.7 points per game, 6 rebounds. The Clippers have been on like a 16-3 tear.
Yeah, they're doing well right now.
Kawhi should have made the All-Star game.
How many games has he missed?
Did you know 27.7 is a career high?
Now, that's wild. Because I think in my head he would have had a 30.1 year.
He's averaging 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line.
He's one of those guys.
94% free throw shooter.
So of all the 2 that were left off that average 27 points a game, Kawhi probably should have gotten the nod before Lauri would.
Yeah, because the Clippers have more wins and they're in a better spot right now. Any idea why somebody might punish Kawhi Leonard for something?
The Steve Ballmer
Any
gate?
reason why the NBA might want to send a message?
What was that charity? It was like SaveTheTrees.org or whatever it was.
Something like that.
Laundering.
Is Kawhi being punished?
If we're punishing Bill Belichick out of the Hall of Fame, why not? You know what I mean? It's not like he was accused of betting.
It's the aspiration no-show
Oh, that's
controversy.
what it was.
$28 million.
Yeah.
that money was funneled to Leonard.
No, but
through the aspiration.
Well, because he was their spokesperson. He did a great job. Steve Ballmer is on the board on that group, and suddenly it went under. What? It's crazy. So the All-Star game, I don't know. I mean, think about how star-studded that is, though. Luka, Steph, SGA, Nikola Jokic, and Victor Wembanyama. What a starting lineup. I mean, that's a great mix of some young dudes in Wembanyama and SGA who are, Wembanyama obviously way young. SGA's an MVP now, but he's got his whole career ahead of him still, right? I mean, that's the way you look at him. Steph is on his way out. I'm not saying that to be mean. Jokic, I don't know how long Nikola Jokic. It seems like Nikola Jokic is going to retire because he's sick of basketball at some point, right? He'll just walk away and be like, yeah, I'm race my horses. Should be fine. But the comp between LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard is pretty stark. So LeBron is 21.5 a game, and Kawhi is 27.7. He outduels him in rebounds, or in points, rebounds. LeBron's got him on assists, but, the defensive prowess from Kawhi is obviously huge. But he's shooting almost 40% from three, and he's shooting 92% from the line. And LeBron is 32. He's his lowest in his career right now, 32% from the three.
Yeah.
So
LeBron didn't deserve the 22nd All-Star invitation he got. It's just true. It was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's a TV game also. Kawhi's not
right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Kawhi's not super dynamic on the camera.
You're being kind.
So,
and honestly, Kawhi probably doesn't even care to be there.
He wouldn't if he gets the nod for the injury replacement. He'd be like, actually, I'm good. If he rejects
it's just more time for him to go work for Aspiration.
Oh yeah, he's got some stuff he's got to do during the All-Star break for him. Some appearances,
some loose ends.
Come on. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Is it a punishment thing? I don't know. Who knows?
It's just strange that he got overlooked like that, and I don't know. Throwing it out there, you can make up your own mind. We all love conspiracy theories.
Do you like the starters? He's Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Any changes there?
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. has been phenomenal. 25.6 points per game, but again, the Nets suck, and so you're going to get punished for that.
So he's left off.
So
all the way.
Unfortunately, Joel Embiid. 26.2 points per game, but he doesn't play every night. And the Sixers have been really disappointing. Yeah. So I'm fine with that, too. So there's not a glaring snub in the East, I don't think. You look at that list, and it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I can't poke a hole in it too much. But I think, obviously, Kawhi Leonard in the West is pretty glaring.
Just based off of their All-Stars, at a glance, who's the best conference? From an All-Star
It's
perspective.
the West. It's not even close.
Right?
Yeah, it's not even close.
Or
Alperen Sengun got left off the list.
That's pretty crazy.
He's a great player.
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen, great player, 27 points per game. Not good enough to make the All-Star team.
Yeah,
it's hard.
So the Thunder would have had – you think they should have had a third player in then?
I think you could make – well, Jalen Williams was hurt a good chunk of the year, so that's why he didn't play enough games.
You got to play.
If he had played full games, I think there absolutely would have been that discussion. James Harden's another name in the West that didn't make it. So
yeah,
there's a lot of guys that have a case.
You're seeing a shift.
I was happy to see Jamal Murray make it finally for the first time.
So this is his first one, right? And I think everybody was kind of waiting for that to happen, right? Where they go, he's doing enough. And he's on a team that does always win. Yeah. I mean, he was left off despite the fact that they were winning. His thing is he was always the second best player on that team.
Yeah.
And so everybody looks and goes, by comparison, oh yeah, he doesn't need to be there. But he should. And I'm glad. That he made it. He's a good player. Devin Booker, yeah. Kevin Durant, does that feel like a little bit of a nod too?
No, he definitely deserves to be on. He's been great this year. But is Şengün more deserving than Durant?
That's what I'm saying. Is like
you can have that conversation.
Yes, you can have a lot of those, and the snubs. You just have to do if you're going to kick Kevin Durant off of the All-Star list. You got to do 20 or 30% more than you're doing.
Right.
If you're gonna kick LeBron off of the page, even Kawhi Leonard, who's a well-known entity, is a very, very good player, can't replace LeBron James. And I don't think you're going to. If he keeps it going, if he even tries for next year, and tries to figure it out and wants to play again and can't give it up. He's like the skinniest he's ever been right now, right? He's like, what did he say? Stop drinking the booze? And he's like, he's off the sauce, and so he's been prepping himself in the offseason. He spends like $4 million just on the personal training stuff.
Yep.
That's why he's able to do it. Listen, just by being the best 41-year-old in the history of the game, that deserves a little bit of a nod, right? I mean, we're not going to leave. If Tom Brady was having half the production or not half, but 2/3 of the production he normally got, we would never be sad about him being put on an All-Pro list or on a Pro Bowl is not really a thing anymore. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you would have always gone, yeah, Tom Brady deserves it. He deserves it. Because he's 45 doing what he was doing, right? So you give him the nod because they have meant more to the game. It is a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's fine. Man. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got more around the corner. We've got tons to talk about here still. We're going to jump into a couple things here. We've got some more hot Super Bowl talk to bring to you. It's just going to be a full Bad Bunny rundown of what he's going to be playing during the halftime show.
Can't wait.
Hey, there are alternatives you can have to watch the game.
Yeah, you can go get a snack. Like, who cares? Why don't we? We'll get into it.
I love it.
But I'll share my hot take.
I love it. Isn't there like a puppy bowl? Isn't somebody still doing that? Doesn't PetSmart do that over on one of the pet channels?
You have options. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, don't get mad about Bad Bunny. You have other options.
JJ says it like we do. Like, well, if you don't like Bad Bunny, if you don't appreciate what the music is that Bad Bunny provides.
Should we read Bad Bunny lyrics over the radio?
No, you cannot.
I can bleep them out.
If it's in another language, does the FCC get mad at us?
What if I do it with a British accent?
The Spanish in a British accent, or they say or do you?
There's got to be an English translation.
So Napolis and I translate it for you, and then you read it off, and it's just a full, a minute-long beep of what Bad Bunny. Yeah, he doesn't have the cleanest lyrics. So, all right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more Super Bowl. We'll talk tons. We got a mammoth game tonight over here at Delta Center. They need these last two before the Olympic break. They lost to Dallas over the weekend. Kyler Yamamoto's playing awesome hockey, and it seems like everybody else is kind of struggling a little bit, trying to find that identity still, and they've lost 2 in a row. We'll get to all that, much more here. It is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on the Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, you know what that music means. Time for us to get ready for. Can we say we don't have to say the big game, do we? No,
I think we do. I think we have to be careful.
This segment's not sponsored. We just have to say we can say Super Bowl all we want because it's not sponsored.
Okay.
I get nerve-wracked about it. I do. I get a little bit nervous about it. Whether or not we can say Super Bowl anymore. We can. Come on. All right, so here's the deal. By the way, coming up at the 4 o'clock hour, Jerry Palm's going to join us. Bracket out today of his bracketology is pretty awesome for you local teams here. Got Utah Valley, and BYU in the same side of the bracket.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and and they have him as a third. I think they have UVU. He's got UVU as a 13 seed.
Yeah,
13 over 4 is not crazy.
They have a tremendous net ranking. Their net ranking's in the top 100. It was as high as in the low 50s earlier this year.
But you see what I'm saying? Like a 13-4 is not wild.
No, it happens.
Yes. And then to have BYU and UVU facing off in the NCAA tournament would be awesome.
Oh, my gosh.
That'd be hilarious.
Just play it at the UCCU Center. No need to go to Buffalo to play that game.
Oh. All right.
Can you imagine BYU versus UVU in Buffalo at 10 a.m.?
Oh.
What are we doing here?
These Wolverine fans travel. You watch, Mike. You'll see the stands just peppered with green and black. I don't know if these BYU fans are going to be there at this game. Who knows? So we'll talk to Jerry Palm coming up at the top of the 4 o'clock hour here. Let's talk some Super Bowl, though, first. Lots going on this week as you get ready for the Super Bowl. You had to get through this last week, right? And now we're officially there. This Sunday, February 8th, it's going to be the real deal. Super Bowl 60. What's crazy is I remember Super Bowl 20. Bears-Patriots. That was the very first memory that I had. Now, part of it was because we recorded it, on the VHS. Remember this?
Yeah.
You got to hit record and play at the same time. And my mom, my mom was upset because we accidentally recorded over Mr. Mom, starring Michael Keaton.
Good movie.
Do you remember these things that would happen back in the day? These are things that my kids can't comprehend.
Oh, there was just absolute horror when something got recorded over on a VHS tape.
Did you record over Mr. Mom?
There were probably domestic disputes over
We will never
VHS
get it back.
tapes getting recorded over.
There's no other way to watch Mr. Mom ever again. That was our one shot. Because that was it. It's like
Buying it would cost $25.99.
And heaven forbid
You had $25.99 in 1985 for a VHS.
Who's going to rent it anyway?
Right.
You go to the rental place and you go, Blockbusters, and you're not going to rent it for $6 either. We had it recorded. What was crazy was you go back and watch those and then you'd see the commercials. The commercials tell as much about the day you're living in as any of the movies. So we recorded over Mr. Mom with Super Bowl 20. We are 40 years removed from that. So that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
So Super Bowl 60, Seahawks Patriots, and I'm going to be honest. Even as a Seahawks fan, you may see me with my game day polo on right now. But if you're streaming this thing on the YouTube. But I'm telling you, I even know that this sounds this thing better be good because I'm not excited about this matchup. It feels like these two teams got there prematurely. Does that seem right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the vibe. I know they won all the games.
Basically, both in 2-year rebuilds, and here they are.
I know they both got there winning the games that were in front of them, and they did great.
And they're very well built as far as roster construction.
Yes, and the Seahawks did it right with that's what's gotten them there before. An amazing defense. You know what I mean? Like that makes a difference. But it just feels like, I don't know. I guess there's not a better matchup. Honestly, like the Seahawks beating the Rams, that was huge because that team probably was going to win the Super Bowl if the Seahawks didn't get there and win it themselves.
Let me throw this out to you since you're bringing this up, feeling like this isn't the Super Bowl matchup that we wanted.
I'm a Seahawks fan,
weird.
and I feel like that myself.
Based on who made the playoffs, what matchup would that have been that would have moved the needle?
Like what did the powers that be want on paper?
What did NBC want in Super Bowl 60 based on who made the playoffs?
I think that a Rams-Bills Super Bowl would have been really fun.
I think you nailed it.
You think so? Like out of the list of the teams that are there.
I do. I think that Josh Allen and the Bills finally breaking through. Josh Allen is that guy that everyone's very familiar with. It feels like it was time for the Bills to finally get there. And then on the other side, Rams, it's the LA team. You're going to have that draw, and Matthew Stafford and Puka has star. That team, there's a lot of star power with that team.
Yes.
And
they're exciting to watch.
You get LA in the Super Bowl and you get a Josh Allen story, I think that probably would have been exactly what everybody on that side of things would have wanted.
Here's why it also would have worked. Because you have last year's MVP and likely this year's MVP.
Right.
The Super Bowl quarterback.
Which means you would have had the best players in the best game.
Now, again, this sounds weird because it sounds like we're saying that the NFL didn't get it right because these teams just won the games.
That's the great thing about it is it doesn't matter. You don't get it right. It plays out on the field. The best teams get there.
Right.
And you have to give the Seahawks and the Patriots credit. The Seahawks were pretty dominant. Even that game in the NFC Championship game, the Rams scored late and they pushed it, but was there ever really a doubt in that game? Did you feel like the Seahawks were in trouble?
Oh, I was doubting the entire freaking time. Are you kidding? That
well, then let's ask the Rams fan. How confident were you the Rams were going to win that game? Did any point in Annapolis did you feel like the Rams were going to win that game?
I
fourth
did.
and four.
When
Fourth
they
and
got
four.
to the fourth and goal inside of the red zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And then they ended up not converting.
Wait, they didn't? I'm just kidding.
So the game before that, the Seahawks beat the 49ers 41-6. So they had to sweat out that last drive. Okay.
They've been
the
very
Seahawks
good.
were dominant.
They've been very good.
They were the number 1 seed, and the number 1 seed is supposed to get to the Super Bowl. That's how it's designed.
Yeah.
The Patriots were the number 2 seed. They had the same record as the Denver Broncos, who had the number 1 seed. The Broncos are in the same category as the Patriots. A team in a rebuild that has a young quarterback that's finally breaking through with a great defense. The Patriots and the Broncos are like looking in the mirror. Whether it was the Broncos or the Patriots, it's the same situation. It's basically the same team.
Yeah.
Young quarterback, great defense.
I just wonder, too.
But star power, intriguing storylines. Your intriguing storyline here is the shucks Sam Darnold story. The Patriots is like, well, this isn't the same Patriots we saw before, but they're back? Question mark. It just doesn't have that wow factor that some Super Bowls have had. And no Tom Brady and no Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. Again, this sounds weird saying
no Travis Kelce.
But a better matchup on paper, I think, would have been Bills-Rams.
No Taylor Swift.
But the Bills have a garbage defense, too, by the way.
That's why they didn't make the Super Bowl.
Right. I mean,
that and turnovers.
I was going to say,
they did not take care of the football, and their defense had holes.
Josh Allen is next year for Josh Allen, if they don't make it there again, he's going to be a giant disappointment and a big choker. You know what I mean? That'll be his vibe. I'm trying to think who that'd be comparable to in other sports even. Like that team that's really good, but they never get it done, or that player that's exceptional that never gets it done. That might be what Josh Allen ends up being saddled with. So, Super Bowl 60. This is going to be a fun one because it's going to be. Hey, when do you leave this week? By the way,
Friday morning.
So you're going out Friday morning.
Yep.
And we'll get you live from the Bay Area, right?
Yep, I'll be on the show Friday.
So we'll still hang out and talk about all these things. So in the end, obviously, people start talking about Patriots versus Seahawks 1.0 that happened in 2014. And again, that game
that had star power.
Any Tom Brady game, again, that was Marshawn Lynch, Tom Brady,
Russell Wilson
when he was good, right?
Bobby Wagner.
Yep. Oh man, see
Julian Edelman, Gronk.
Yeah, that's the kind of
Katy
game.
Perry was the halftime show.
Ooh.
Left shark, right shark.
That was that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Left shark was that? Wow. I
Wasn't
like it. Yeah, I think so.
Am I right?
I'm big. I'm loving it, dude. So the Patriots are going to what number Super Bowl is this for them? This is number
12.
12 for them?
Isn't that crazy?
That is insane.
Yep. This is the third Super Bowl they've made without Tom Brady and Belichick.
I mean,
they made it in the Super Bowl you're talking about,
85,
Super Bowl 20 against the Bears when
they lost 42-10 in that game.
That Patriots team might have been the worst team to ever make a Super Bowl. And then they made it one year under Bill Parcells when they played Brett Favre and the Packers.
We know how that went.
Yeah, we know how that went. And then the rest of the Super Bowls, though, were all Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And they went to a total of 9.
So they went to a total of 9. They won 6 of those 9. He won another one
with the
down in Tampa with Gronk.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's awesome.
9 in 20 years. That's amazing.
Okay, now I will say this. I had somebody text me and they said, so Jackson Smith-Njigba is not a star power name. He's not a big name. Listen, he's the best wide receiver in this game.
Football fans know who he is. Does the casual person tuning into the Super Bowl know who he is? JSN
is a guy that's going to take a couple more years of this type of a season for you to wrap your head around whether or not he's, star power. Everybody knows Sam Darnold is not superstar power. You know why? Because that's part of what the story is.
Where's the endorsements? Where's the commercials on TV?
Right.
That's what we're talking about, those kind of people.
Kenneth Walker III, great. I mean, he got him to the Super Bowl in a lot of ways. He was phenomenal. But again, he's the 7th best running back in the in the NFC or in the league.
Right, not a Pro Bowler, right? I don't think he is.
So in that sense, you have the 3 biggest names on this roster are Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Kenneth Walker. And then you have Cooper Kupp, who everybody goes, oh, yeah, I forgot he was on that team. Right?
Yeah.
You can't sleep on Rashid Shaheed. That's a big name. But again, a specialist. Right? Yeah. So all of these things are really cool to watch these things. But and their defense, the Seahawks defense, is the better part of all their 3 phases. So whether or not you think that's star power or not, the defense is the thing that's gotten them there. And Sam Darnold's a great story. But again, I will recognize that these are probably not the teams that not only did people not think that they would match up against one another, but They are there, and they're defying the odds, man. And Drake May, we haven't said a dang word about that guy. And partly it's because we're not used to seeing Drake May anywhere near this type of a game.
It's just early.
It's way too early. But they're in the Super Bowl, man. He could get his first Super Bowl win. Sam Darnold could win the Super Bowl as a guy who people wrote off. That's a great story. It's awesome. All right. We'll take a break. We got more Super Bowl, of course, to talk about this week, so we'll get into a bunch of that. But when we come back to the program, guess what we have around the corner? Got our weekend warriors, people who won the weekend. Yeah, sports are still going on, even though football wasn't took a back seat. So we'll inform you of who our weekend warriors were for this weekend. We got tons more on the program. Stick with us. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Happy Monday to you. Thanks for being a part of the program today. Jazz played listen, was that the best defensive effort we've seen in a minute? Will Hardy thought so, right?
Yeah, I thought Isaiah Collier was tremendous. I thought he was a bulldog in the backcourt, forced some turnovers, made some things happen. Yeah, defensively, they played pretty well, and I think they made the Raptors look bad on several occasions. I liked the way they played defensively in that game.
But you get the loss, but you didn't give up 140 points, JJ. That was the key to it.
That's a win.
That was big for them. I will say too, though, it's wild to think that Keyonte George being out makes as much of a difference, or sometimes even more maybe, than Lauri Markkanen being out.
Like, well, you're out. You don't have your point guard,
right? And so and he's 20. He's 25 a game almost.
Let me say, Isaiah Collier stepped up. He especially
well.
with scoring.
Yes,
he played both sides of the court. I don't think that was the issue for them yesterday. I just think they just didn't have enough offense, and it's obvious. Like they just didn't have the roster that the Raptors have. The Raptors have an all-star in Scotty Barnes, and then Brandon Ingram is playing at that level. He was one of those snubs from the All-Star game this year.
Good to see Nurk back in the rotation. That guy plays his butt off, doesn't he?
And he's a great passer.
Yes,
offensively,
he
does some really good things.
He knows the floor. I've come to like that guy a ton this year.
Yeah, I have too.
So big fan of him. Hey, it's our weekend warriors. People who won the weekend here for us. Speaking of teams who. Oh, man, on the defensive side of things for this Utah Mammoth team, they love giving up an early goal, don't they? And it just seems like every game that they've had over the past little bit, it's a 1-0 within 1 or 2 minutes. And those first couple of minutes of every period, including the very front end of the start of the game, are crucial. And when Dallas went up 1-0 and then 2-0, you looked at it and you went, okay. But I'll tell you who's had a crazy run. The last 2 games, both losses, unfortunately. And so that kind of overshadows his performance. But Kyler Yamamoto, with another 2-goal game, brought it to an even 2-2 before Dallas ended up they brought it. It was 3-1. He added the second one, and then the rest of the game was just a scramble. But Kyler Yamamoto, 4 goals in the last 2 games, including last week. He's just having a heck of a run. Here's what it sounded like.
Paterka back for Yamamoto. He shoots and scores! Hello, Moto! Mammoth on the board. And Kyler Yamamoto stays sizzling hot. Paterka in front, Yamamoto scores! How hot is Kyler Yamamoto? Mammoth back within 1. 13-19 to go in the third. It's his 4th goal in 2 games. He's got both for the Mountain Blue tonight. And once again, it was J.J. Paterka who set him up.
3-2. They take the loss after the historic meltdown loss against Carolina the game previous. So they've lost 2 in a row. They have 2 games at home coming up here before the Olympic break. I'm confident they can win both of these games at home here. In fact, it's kind of required that you beat Vancouver tonight, the worst team in hockey.
The way the last 2 have gone, got to finish strong here before the break.
So a couple of if they get a couple of wins here and escape with 4 points just before the break, because the break will happen and You're going to get your best players back. I mean, Gunther played against Dallas, but
Wasn't 100%.
it was not 100%. And so I think getting Logan Cooley back, I think we're expecting him back. Obviously, we're making guesses here, but I think that's what the wisdom is that he's going to be finally coming back from that long injury. So when he comes back after the break, after a couple weeks of Olympic hockey, what's this team going to look like? And then it's on. Then the push is on, man. And if this team makes a move at the trade deadline, which I think Travis Yost brought it up last week, Cole Bagley's talked about it, like they might get aggressive. They certainly have the cap space to be able to do it.
There's some big names out there that could be on the move.
So I'm interested to see how aggressive they get, or if they stay pat and just buckle down and make a push, because they're playing some really, really good hockey. Last couple games, unfortunately, not very good, or at least losses. I mean, that Dallas team is, legitimately a Stanley Cup contender. So
Top 3 in the NHL. There's no doubt about it.
It's a tough team. Hey, how about golf being back? Not just this indoor stuff either. Justin Rose firing it up at Torrey Pines this weekend. This guy is like one of the older dudes out there, and yet Justin Rose clobbered the entire field, had a record go on the course there at Torrey Pines, and here's what it sounded like for him to get the W.
Justin Rose in a runaway at Torrey Pines.
Thank you. Well done. Thank you very much. Good job, you guys. Thank you.
It was a jam-packed leaderboard, second down to fifth. It was just like everybody was 16, 15, 14. Tons of guys at 16, 15, 14 under. Justin Rose won the tournament. Second place is 16 under. He won at 23 under. It's a scoring record at the course. A great start to the year for him, and a guy who kind of struggled last year a little bit, and obviously got close to some majors, but didn't end up getting that win. So
one of the underrated golfers of this generation. He doesn't get talked about enough. 13 wins on tour. Won the 2013 U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And how many times has he finished second or third in a major?
Yeah, including last year.
Right.
And 41 years old to start off the season with the tournament record is pretty phenomenal. You don't see people winning, like Scotty Scheffler will every once in a while win a tournament like this by 6 or 7 strokes. Tiger Woods, this is what he did back in the day, like
right.
at the height of his powers. He'd win the entire tournament by 7, 8, 10 strokes sometimes. But this one was good for Justin Rose. And then finally, the battle between Kansas and BYU, Darren Peterson versus A.J. DeBonsa. Here's what it sounded like. Darren Peterson taking over that first half.
Peterson jams it. And he gets a lot of defensive attention, which opens up things for his teammates.
Peterson averaging 21.6.
The bucket against Kevaketa.
A miss for Saunders on a 3. Here's Peterson. Got it. The game. Peterson knocks another one away. Second time he's done that.
Boy, talk about a two-way player. He has been active in every.
And they could be the top 4 picks in the draft.
I think they will be.
Yeah. And they're all playing at an All-America level. Right face guarding Peterson. Peterson gets a little space and knocks it down. Trey White, the assist.
Big win for Kansas. BYU doing their second half thing, coming back, making it a game, and coming up pretty short on this one. I mean, Kansas was really, really good this past weekend, and they were up by 15. It seemed like from the very get-go, 20 by the half, and then that was too much to overcome in the second half for BYU. Richie Saunders, though, how about the 33 points and 10 rebounds for the kid?
Well, he really stepped up, a career night for him, but they just don't have enough depth right now. And it was glaring on Saturday. You go into a hostile environment like that, you got to have other guys step up. They had guys step up in the Arizona game. It was just too late, and they had the chance to win it, and they didn't get it done. Kansas felt different. It just felt like you're leaning on these top 3 guys way too much, and this is not going to help BYU reach their goals this year. And you got to have somebody step up at some point. I know that there's been injuries. I get the story. I understand the situation. But they've got to have someone else other than the big 3 step up. It doesn't need to be much. It's just got to be consistent.
My question for you is, regarding like having to have all 3 all on a night. When you get to the tournament,
what other team in the Big 12 has to have that?
You can sneak the first, maybe a second round game if 2 out of the 3 are playing really, really phenomenally. But to make a real run, And I don't know if this is possible. You got to have all three having phenomenal games. You don't get to the Final Four playing like this. No. And I know those are people's expectations. Is like, yeah, but they're not there.
You've seen them against some of the best teams in the country right now. You've seen them against Texas Tech and Arizona, and I'll throw Kansas in there when they're healthy and ready to go. And you see the gap. You see there's this glaring weakness of depth. And it's got to get resolved. Now, I think AJ is going to get better as the season goes along. The big three are going to continue to do what they do. But and Richie talked about it after the game. He's like, we're going to turn that corner just like we did last year. We're going to figure it out. But who's it going to be? Who's going to step up? Who's capable of producing more on a regular basis? Because it can't just be the big three every night. There's got to be somebody else step up.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Speaking of basketball, Jerry Palm, will ask him some of these questions. Does BYU have what it takes to make a deep run in the NCAA tournament? Currently on a 2-game losing streak here. How do they get this one back, and where do some of these teams stand? Plus, lots of representation out of the state of Utah on this latest big board of Jerry Palm's bracketology. So we'll come back. We'll talk with Jerry next, right here, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.